Leaving Day by Cassander Garduna. Chapter 2, Where the Scarlet Birds Follow. None of the Driftwood people had ever seen Ung, but their belief in his existence was as strong and as innate as their belief in their own. They passed under the bridge into a city of rubble like none had ever seen. Trees and vines grew in and around once massive stone buildings. The leafy canopy blocked out all but scattered rays of sunlight, and tall grasses grew through once wide roads and sidewalks. Devoid of people, the silence was palpable. The canoes flew noiselessly a foot above the ground, and none of the Driftwood people spoke. They were in a new land unlike their home on the little island of Athlandrun, and all looked silent and amazed. Perfectly in the moment, the Driftwood people once again felt alive. The new experience had made them new as well. Their hearts and minds had changed in seconds, and their old selves were left back on the island. Sigla jumped down from the canoe and started leading the party on foot with her lantern held out in front of her. "Where are we?" asked Migka. "We are where Ung is," replied Sigla. "The city of rubble." Suddenly, birdsong was heard. Small scarlet birds arrived and started to move along with them. The birds watched as they moved through the city that nature had taken back. "Beautiful," said little Tegla, as one landed on the edge of the canoe. "I think they are scarlet tanagers," said Sula, who knew quite a lot of facts. "Can I play with them?" asked Agaliska. "Leave them alone," Migka said, and laughed. As they ventured further into the city, more scarlet tanagers arrived, until the trees and bushes around the three canoes were full of them, and their songs filled the air. "Did you feel that?" Sigla said suddenly. "The ground shook." "I thought I heard a low rumble," said Migka. "There it was again," said Sigla. "I definitely heard it that time," said Migka. The pulsing, rhythmic noise they heard seemed to be getting closer, like thunder in an oncoming storm, and the closer the noise came, the more the ground shook. Sula and Migka jumped down from the canoes and joined Sigla. "Ready your weapons. Snala, Heaka, down by me," commanded Migka. As Prince Snala and Heaka joined Migka, Snala blew a wooden whistle he wore around his neck, and all the warriors readied their weapons and stood at attention. The ground shook again as the low roar boomed. Heaka growled and bared his teeth, dagger in hand. Snala drew back an arrow. Suddenly, the scarlet tanagers grew still and quiet. "Help!" screamed Sula. In an instant, a long sticky tongue had shot out from under the ground and wrapped itself around Sula's leg. Again Sula screamed, "It's pulling me in! It won't let me go!" "What is it?" shouted Snala. Heaka, always brave, ran forward and slashed at the huge tongue with his dagger. "It won't cut!" cried Heaka. "Grab him!" exclaimed Migka as he ran forward, grabbing Sula's hand. Heaka dropped his dagger and grabbed Sula's other hand. Snala grabbed him by the waist, and Sigla seized Snala, creating a small chain. "Pull," said Migka. "What terror! What hell!" cried Sula as his leg was pulled deeper into the earth. Snala took his whistle with his teeth and blew again, and the warriors let out a barrage of arrows into the ground, which had seemingly no effect. Abruptly, the loud, low boom rang out again. The ground shook violently, causing all to lose their hold on Sula, and in seconds he disappeared underground. "You bastard! Come out and fight me!" screamed Migka. The ground quaked, and multiple tongues sprang from underneath them, taking hold of the canoes and the Driftwood people, and dragging them down into the earth, until none but Migka was left. "Come out and face me, demon!" yelled Migka in an angry fit. And with this, the attacker surfaced. It was a small purple frog with large golden eyes. It croaked, and the ground shuddered. Its tongue, seemingly too long and large for its body, shot out and grabbed Migka's ankle, pulling him to the ground, where he began sliding towards the frog's wide-open mouth. "No, you won't take me," said Migka, as he looked around for something to grab onto. He spotted Heika's dropped dagger. He quickly grabbed the dagger and plunged it into the earth. "No, no, no, not like this," he moaned. The scarlet tanagers started to sing again and flew up into the air. As Migka watched, they moved as one body and formed a red whirlwind. Quicker and quicker they flew around until the fallen leaves and some of the small rocks on the ground lifted into the air. The small scarlet birds began to dissolve into one another until there stood Ung. Beautiful, but frightening, Ung was the unknown. He was language. He was the unseen wild places. He wore all yellow, and his face was a mirror which Migka now saw himself struggling in. "Don't be afraid, child. Just let go," said Ung. "No," Migka shouted. "I'm not ready to die." "It's okay, child. Just let go," Ung said softly. A calm washed over Migka, and he thought, "It will only be a moment." He then let go of the dagger and was swallowed by the purple frog.